Ja, vielen Dank, Georg und Andreas und Christina, für die schöne Organisation, die Sie hier haben gemacht. So, Entschuldigung, mein Deutsch ist nicht so schlecht, aber für heute letztes Jahr habe ich in Deutsch gemacht und das war nicht 100%. Heute mache ich das in Französisch. Okay? So, donc, on va commencer. Bonjour. So, I will switch in English. It will be easier for everyone. So I have the pleasure today to come here in Munich to introduce you again, for the people who already know us, what is TOUSRSI. Generally, yesterday I do a podcast in French and the journalists tell me all the time, why you say TOUSRSI? You have to say your nickname, you're too crazy. So it's true that in the US, many people know us as too crazy, more as TOUSRSI. And why? It's probably because we are trying to think different. Not thinking different to make the things necessarily different, but we think is another way how to build IT, and especially when you have some issues today with the more heat in the Earth or less energy available with all the problems you know on the Earth today. This is not just coming from putting things. We have started that already in 2008. Thank you to AMD in 2008 to ask us to prove that the computer was using less energy than Intel one. So probably you see this study we have done during 6 months. No, you never see, because we never publish it, because we demonstrate the opposite. Intel in 2008 was using less energy than AMD. But during this study, with my team, we understanding that energy will be an issue. What we want to show in the group of TOUSRSI, it's different missions for different opportunities. So you know Boston. Boston is the company we have with the one we have merged 3 years ago. But previously, TOUSRSI has acquired another company called Tranquil PC, so now renamed as Tranquil or Tranquil IT, to make the tranquility. And we are brands who believe that in different markets, so in the server and in the edge computing, we can build computers with less energy needs or less noise. It's another topic, less popular today, but in the past and in the future, the noise of the computer will be also a topic. In Boston, I suppose you know already BIOS IT. BIOS IT is the high end of the group, so they take care of the high-frequency tradings customer or the Formula One customer, so the very deep technology in IT. Escape Technology, we have a subsidiary in Germany too, who is more caring on graphic visuals and all the broadcasting subject. Green Computing, so that is an experience we have done to prove that our systems are using less energy. And how can we prove it? Put them in a data center and build around the server all the necessary stuff to make the things possible. When we say we do 23% less energy than other servers, like Dell, for example, it's easy to put on a paper. Make it real in a data center with few tens of thousand cores is something very different. Managing the water flow, managing the power, managing the fan airflows. And since 3 years, we do that for specific big customers for sure. We are not competing the other data center. Here, the idea is just to offer a space with a partner. Our partner is called Azure Data Center in France. And we are building really the future of the IT in the data centers. Moving, for example, the data center we have in Nanterre, so close from Paris, we move it from 3 kilowatts per square meter to 25 kilowatts per square meter. So it's a big challenge to make by 8 the capacity power of a space in a data center without destroying the wall and creating a new data center. Okay, that is the job we have done. So that is the map of the location. So we just announced our financial result Monday. The group is globally 185 million euro, roughly 400 people, in 19 different subsidiaries in the world. the most important, we say Monday, is that 79% of our turnover is done locally. This means we are creating local company to serve a local customer. Or another marketing word we are developing is the multi-local effect. When you are today present, for example, in India, the Indians don't want to buy just Chinese product and give the jobs to the Chinese. They want work for their own people. And Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister of India, developed his strategy and called it the 50-50. 50% of the add value has to be done in India, and 50% could become from outside. This is true that since the COVID, a lot of countries are working and thinking this way to make it more local and less in only one country. So that is really a strategy we start in 2013 to develop subsidiaries everywhere in the world and have today 7 different locations of manufacturing in the world. For sure, not all the products are the same in every world, and I'm very curious and happy to say that Boston has new products here who are very totally different from some products we propose in the US or in France. And why they do that? Because they have the fully freedom to do what they want. We are not a group where everything is coming from the top. In fact, everything is coming from the base. Everything is coming from you, from the customers. That is, for me, the great message we have to show you today. We are not here to say you what you have to do, but you have to say us what we have to propose to you, how we can serve you better. I hope I go not too fast. It's okay? Bon, okay. That is our value proposal. On these 5 topics, on to Cersei, it's what we try to help you. So the first is the performance. We will publish in the next few weeks a full report with some manufacturers where we show that our computers are the fastest in the world. It's always easy to put in a paper, on a data sheet. Here is 12 pages on numbers demonstrations with this application is a 3D software application with a very deep computing where we can show with a good manufacturer you can have up to 60% more performance with the same component. But in the same time, it's complicated to make green IT too, because more performance you would have from a system, less you could reduce the wattage use. So it's why I oppose the high performance and green IT. What we are trying to do is to make no opposition between the two sides. And how is possible? It's possible because we rethinking the IT. We try to completely modify how you will use the server, how you will use the IT. Not just servers. We do also computers who go in the cars. Or in the for example, flying Dubai taxi, it's the taxi, the future flying taxi. They choose our computer, not because it's using less energy or higher performance, but because it's the most reliable computer they never test. Be able to run a computer at 70 degrees, 70 degrees, 70, not 17. 70 degrees, it's possible today, without any fan, without any AC. It's just possible if you put new technology, new hardware, new materials inside. That is what we do in Manchester, for example. So operational agility is also, in the time where you have a lot of shortage, be able to project a team everywhere in the world, in Kuala Lumpur, in Rio de Janeiro, or in Quebec, for example. It's something very, very important for large customer, for large deployment, where a customer wants to buy by one provider, but delivery everywhere in the world. That is something we are also very, we like so kind of customer. Okay, I will go a little fast on this one, but remember just that we are not just a company who wants to make profits. We have, since 2013, as I told you already, a lot of private R&D by us, not just on our basic jobs, so creating servers, but we extend the capacity of our R&D to find new way to reuse energy, or probably tomorrow to use to produce energy, sorry. And that is something very, very important in the strategy of the group. You know, producing energy today, it's really a topic in the world, but I don't go today longer on that. I will prefer to show you these graphs. This data is, for me, the most important things you will see today. And not today on the event, but you have to have that in your mind. Our industry started a few years ago, a new battle. It's called the power war. You can see here all the future CPU done by Intel and AMD. And you can see the curve here, who show the evolutions of the wattage on the CPU and the GPU. What you can see since few years, the increasing is very, very fast. And why so fast? Because before, when Intel has 19-something% of the market, they have the performance who go slowly better. They have every year a new generations, and everyone was waiting the next one. It was easy to make business, easy to sell a computer. AMD changed the game. They sold all their factory, they concentrate on the design, changing the way how to produce a CPU. And today they are, I cannot say better or not better, is roughly the same level as Intel again. And they beat them together on increasing the wattage to have more performance. And this increasing changed the game. What is not showing here is the future GPU. You know, NVIDIA announced Jensen announced on the last GTC a 700 watts GPU, computing GPU, 700 watts. If you see what they done, just for example, in 2017, it was just 250 watts. Why I speak about that? How do you want to cool so high wattage? Everyone speak about liquid cooling, DLC like Zutacore, very good systems, dual phasing. It's really nice. Or you have also immersion cooling, and we show different examples. But the most important is when you speak to your customer is to explain to your customer. They have to find a solution. Microsoft, for example, they have announced in April that every new data center by Microsoft will be immersion cooling. In 2 years, when the Birch stream is coming out, you will have no more CPU under 250 watts. No, today is the highest. In 2 years, it will be the minimum one. That means air cooling is no more possible. And if you want to help your customer in the future, you have to train them. 99% of the customers don't believe it today, but this is a reality. You can watch how much white paper done by Intel, NVIDIA, and AMD on the immersion and the DLC. You will see the numbers of this paper are increasing very fast. 2 years ago, Intel didn't want to speak about immersion cooling. Today, they are the first publisher on immersion cooling white papers. It's really a game-changing. Next time, I will repeat again, but I hope that today, all of us will take the subject. We have already developed, since 2013, some specific server for immersion cooling, and we have already validated 15 different immersion cooling solutions. Immersion DLC is not an opposition, it's just 2 different usages. But both of them are able to cool the IT correctly. Because the subject is not to say, oh, I have found a fantastic solution with air cooling. It's also to say, okay, you could probably go up to a certain level with air cooling. But what's happened if tomorrow you have a trouble with your cooling tower? What is tomorrow you have a problem with the fan? Tomorrow, the life cycle of your component could be damaged because you cool not enough. I discovered yesterday on the table a new player. I'm sorry, I didn't know you before. I keep your business card to find the name again. I'm sorry. It's InCooling. I don't know if you know InCooling. They are just 2 gentlemen coming from Netherlands. And that is also what I expect from this kind of event, to find new people, new information. So thank you for you to join us. The job by TuSRSI is not just speaking cooling. We are also developing new technology. Oh, 0 minutes. I asked 2 hours, sorry. 3 minutes? 3, please. Okay. So just to tell you, we are also developing with different European companies, 4 German companies like Jülich University, Tech University from Karlsruhe. You have also Darmstadt, Fraunhofer Institute, and I forgot one, sorry for them, Stoll, something like that. Okay. Odyssey, very, very interesting technology for the people who want. This is far edge AI. Far edge is putting AI in the edge cloud. Good example on the telecom tower. You must to add IT on the telecom tower to get more performance for new 5G network or future 6G. It's not a choice, it's mandatory. Very fast example of our reduction cooling. You have some numbers, 23% less energy. Here you have 96 node high-speed CPUs, very performance using Singapore, Australia, and Canada. I go very fast. Another example of DLC, a real data center solutions of DLC. No cabling, no tubes. It's a very convenient solutions when you don't have enough IT guys to maintain your systems. Here is really done. You can also imagine today solutions with small racks like that, sorry. 10, 20 kilo in 1/3 of racks. You can put underground in every buildings to heat the buildings tomorrow when it's not enough gas, for example. It's really serious. Huh? It's a real topics we are speaking today with the French authority to put that, for example, in the hospital to reduce how much gas they need to heat the water, the drinking water, the washing water inside the hospitals. It's a lot of saving gas for that. Airbus, an example of immersion cooling. These solutions I showed you before. We put a label here. So Solar Impulse, I suppose all of you know the Solar Impulse Foundation. They choose our solution. We don't promote to them. They really choose our solutions from one of the 1,000 solutions who can save tomorrow the climate in the Earth. And they have done a very great job on that. Last point, this is our vision for the future. So this is for the 5G tower, the first real solution for immersion, combined storage and computing in immersion. And I finished. I said 3 minutes, so I'm done. But smart city for compute and energy management, for the people who are a vision higher than just a server, data center, or a city, that is the topics we can speak together. We already work with some local authority in the Middle East on some kind of subject, and in Indonesia too. So it's thank you very much for your time, and I'm sorry, Christina, to be longer.